Whoa, hey, are you ready for this episode of Steven's Garage 216? I am. Let's get to it. One more try. I found that I'm not even going to explain how stupid I am right now. Yes, I have a wiring nest of nightmare right there. I understand. Look at that fire up. And then it dies. There's not much gas in it at all, I can show you. Here we go, we're back on the boss's LS swapped 86 IROC Camaro. Yes, Steven's garage, I'm a pig, so that's why there's still a mess. But look, I want to show you guys. Got the HP tuners hooked up. I already got the computer unlocked. I got to recheck something about this relay I had hooked up here. I bypassed it real quick just so that the fuel would start working. We got fuel pressure. This thing should fire off right now. We're ready to go. Give you an update, something that we're building and doing right now on my boss's 86 IROC via LS swap. So we're moving the battery to the back of the car just like we did on the blue one, but we're going for the driver's side this time, and I want to show you how to build or how I built and did the battery box for it and some things that I did. And wow, is my face dirty. So let's take a look at what I got going on so far, and I'll describe to you as we're looking at it what I've done, how, you know, welding and stuff like that, and go from there. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's get the clamp for the welder out of here. All right, so this is the driver's side right here. And I've done a couple of different things here, and what I'll do is I'll enter some pictures also so you can have a side view, because I don't know if I'll get the phone in there to show you how I did that piece. But basically what that piece is there is to grab the lip here on the battery to keep it in place. And obviously the bolt is for this piece here for the hold down, just like it used to go up front, and it will hold the battery right there in the front. So I learned something kind of new. I mean, I had an idea of how to weld and stuff, but using my boss's argon and his snap-on, nicer welder than my little Harbor Freight welder at home. So definitely using argon makes nicer beads, but that was my very first run at it right there, actually using like a professional. And I'll tell you what, that looks way better than what I have at home with my cheap Harbor Freight welder. Let me see, I got it there. But what I did is, here, the very first step to doing this is not worrying about cutting up your piece of metal. This piece of metal that I used here is 1/16 of an inch, which I think is like 30 something gauge, 34 gauge maybe, something like that. And what I did is I used, where is it? Maybe it's still sitting here. Nope, I must have thrown it away. First, what I did is I used a piece of cardboard and worked it that way. And you can see I didn't take this edge all the way to the fender. There's actually some space there. I didn't want to go all the way to the fender because flexing of the car and taking off and launching and all that might have pushed out or something. I'm not sure. I didn't feel right, so I just left it like that. There's some space there, but it is going around the corner of this. At least this is okay, so that's 1 inch and that's doing half of it, so I only came back 1 inch, but I did make that angle cut there. And then when I cut this, I just made a mark with the marker, left that length there so that I could just put it in the vise and bend it up and put my tack there. And then you've got 2 tacks there. This piece here, basically, if you watch my finger, like I said, I'll enter some pictures, but basically what I did was, this is just coming over and then goes towards the battery exactly 1/2 inch and then back 1/2 inch. So you kind of have like an arrow there. And that point of the arrow, this edge right here, is what goes into the groove of the battery. Now let's set the battery in there. We got our 2 gauge battery, positive ran all the way back here. We just got to put some ends on it and get it onto the starter. But I will show you also, we'll take this off. Now that everything seems to feel kind of cooled down a little bit. Let me set the phone down. All right. I did use a couple of washers there. And the other thing I noticed is that the head of the bolt kept this up a little higher, so I used a 1/2 inch drill bit, drilled the bottom of this out just a little bit, maybe 1/4 of the way up, so that way when I put these nuts on, it actually holds it in place. And there, I just hit it with some brown primer. So here we go. Sort of finished, but you can tell this is a factory negative cable because it has the rubber on there. I know I can get a rubber piece for this. I could probably steal the factory one and just kind of, you know, make it look like something. I don't know, maybe. I don't know what, maybe. But ground is hooked up. This part is on the frame, and this part is going to the body, and it's mounted. It does not move. So I hope you guys like the battery video, but that's where it is, and that's how you relocate it. Pretty easy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the garage. I have a beautiful assistant this time. Say hello, Tamara. Ah, that's funny. I just said your whole name when I only said half of it. This is her 2010, right? Yeah. Chevy Cobalt. What size engine? 2.2. 2.2. And we're getting ready to do a oil change on it. What are some problems that we had with it we just fixed? We got to catch up because we should have done this video at the beginning.
We changed the cam sensors.
Cam sensors.
The gas cap.
Yep, and the gas cap. Because we had an EVAP code and we had a cam sensor code. She had a shop. What shop? Well, no, we can't say the name because then they could probably sue us. But we went to a shop. She went to a shop. And they talked about needing to change. Go ahead, pop your hood, dear. They said that she needed to get a whole nother engine or do a timing chain. And when the sensors were bad, there was actually this like shaking and everything going on. All we did was replace those two right there, which is the cam pressure sensors, and then over here is the front. Right here on the front of the head, facing the front, is the front cam position sensor. There's a rear one we didn't do, but we didn't need to. Those three sensors there fixed it, and now we're just down to changing the oil because it seems very gassy, right?
Yeah, and it's overflowing.
And it's overfilled. So we're going to change that, and then the evap code, we got lucky with. Oh, wrong side of the car. We just had to replace the gas cap, and that made the code go off and stay off, and that was for a P0449. And a lot of people don't know, I was telling her, a lot of people just throw their gas cap on. They just put it on and turn it when they're at the gas station. There's some people that don't know, and I want you to know now, when you put your gas cap on, you should actually give it a little snug of a push, and at least let it click 3 times. That way you know there's a seal on it and you don't get a false evap code, for a check engine light and stuff like that. So we're getting ready to pull the car up on the ramps. Let's do that now, Mara. And yeah, you better close it so you can see me. And we're getting ready to change the oil on here. And then we're going to show you an easy little trick on how to get those foggy looking lights all nice and clear again. Woohoo! Perfect. You stopped it right on the stops. It almost went forward, but you did a good job. Go ahead and shut it down. We're going to wait about 15 minutes or so. And I'm going to teach her how to do her own oil changes. She did change her own cam sensor and the cam pressure oil sensors that are on top of the head there. And she changed her own gas cap so far, so we're proud of you. And so we're gonna go chill out for about 15 minutes. For you, it'll be a couple seconds, and but we're gonna get the tools out that we need, let this thing sit for about 15 minutes, and then we'll change the oil, and we'll get right to it. Just move your hand away real quick. Keep going. There you go. Good job. Well, now we'll wait about 5 minutes and let all that drain out. All right, we've let it drain out. We got the oil filter changed. Sorry for not recording oil filter. Not a big deal. I'm sure you guys know how to do an oil filter. You're just watching me teach this young lady how to do it. She's gonna put her drain plug bolt back in. We've looked at it. It looks okay. I'm sure you guys know that if the drain plug washer looks cracked in any way or is no good, obviously you'd go to the parts store and replace it. Did you switch your lever on the ratchet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that good?
A little more, as hard as you can. I think that's all you need. Looks good. Now we can start putting the oil back in. As you slide out, drag that out with you. From the car. McGuire's. That's for that later in the video. We're going to do that one first, and you'll use all of it. And it's probably going to take a long time to drain because it's a little thick. But take your top off there. And we're just doing this because it's a high mileage car. That's all right. I'll do it. Oops. Pause. All right. Got the cap off. Go ahead and start dumping it in there. Yep. Just as fast as you can. Just dump. See how slow it is?
Yeah. Should I just...
Yep. See, it's like goo. I'm a firm believer in Lucas. I use it for everything or anything I've ever had myself that's high mileage. And it's always the first quart I put in. I've never had a problem. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me that, oh, you don't use the whole thing or only half or whatever, 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder. Man, I use the whole thing on every car I've ever done it to. I've never had complaints, problems, or anything. So, look at the rookie mistake underneath the car, that big old puddle of oil. Rookie.
Sorry.
So we're going to get that in there. And then we're going to get half of that in there and start using the dipstick and show her how to use the dipstick to tell how much to keep putting in or whatever. So I'm going to go dump this right here myself. The purple and the 2000 grit is for the headlight there. We already started on that one. I'm going to teach her and show you guys how to get your headlights nice and crystal clear, like brand new again. Simple video. I'm sure there's lots of them out there, and everybody's got a different way, and I like to do things my way because it's my way. Yep, now we're ready to put that in. And when you put that in, can you see how there's a...
Yeah.
So take it down to... Keep pour most of it out till you're down to about there. I got it.
Okay.
Just like that. Maybe this one. We're going to check it a couple of times. And then I'll hold that for you like that. Okay, stop. Mistake number one is the way you're pouring it. I'll hold this.
Okay.
Take this and turn it sideways so it's like this. Yep, exactly. So when you pour flat ways, it doesn't gurgle out. See?
Yeah.
See how nice and smooth? All right, so we'll pour about 3/4 of this jug in, and then we'll use the oil check tube, the stick, and see how full it is. Okay, and then pull your dipstick tube out. Now the first one, it doesn't matter what it says. Just take it out and wipe it off with your rag right away. Just wipe it off real good. Now when you pull it out, just slide it right out of there and see if you can see if it's even touching the end of the stick.
I can't tell.
No, it's not even touching it yet. So throw it back in. And I'm going to say with the 2 quarts or so that's left in that gallon, go ahead and just dump the whole thing in. Go ahead, go for it. There we go.
The whole thing?
Yep. We're just going to go ahead and do the whole thing. I'm going to admit on camera that we forgot to look to see how many quarts it holds. It's probably like a 6-quart pan, so... There you go. Now tilt it. Keep it over there, but pour like you were going to pour before. There you go. Because you had oil up here in the handle of the bottle. There you go. All right, let's recheck the tube or the stick. Remember, wipe. Yep. Always wipe the first one. It doesn't even matter what it says. Ah, it's right on. It's right at the top of that little hash mark right there. So it must be 6-quart pan. Plus, it's going to go down. So what you'll do right now is you'll go inside the car, start it, let it run for about 30 seconds, make sure the light goes off, or oil pressure needle comes up, whatever you have in there. I didn't look, but go check that out, and then we'll recheck it again. Let's put this out, put the cap on. There you go. Now let's start it and see what it does. Let's see if you got I don't know if you have an oil gauge or if you have an oil light or what. Oh, so you have an oil light.
Turn it on.
Yep, go for it. There you go. Oil light went right out. Cool. All right, we had it running for about 30 seconds, maybe longer. We just turned it off. Let's check it. Remember, always wipe the first one. It doesn't matter what it says. See, it went down a little bit.
Okay.
But it's still in between those. See how that one looks like it does?
Yeah.
In the bottom one, the oil is still in there. It's closer to the top, but you're good. So 6 quarts on a little 2.2. Crazy. Okay. Now what we're going to show you is how to make your dull, dingy looking headlight go from that to that. And the way I do it, and what I'm going to teach her, is we've got some Purple Power soapy bubbles there. We're just going to coat that down. And then we've got a 2000 grit sanding block, and we're just going to scrub the hell out of it. Get some McGuire's mirror glaze. Hold on, let me pop that for you. There you go. Pour some on there. That looks perfect. And then what you'll do is you just swirl that all around, cover the whole light. Your headlights will be so much brighter at nighttime. And once you have every little square inch covered, like looks like you do now, we'll just wait a few minutes and let that turn into more of a white, foggy glaze, and then we'll wipe it off. Okay, it's all hazy. Scrub real hard with a clean, well, that's not,
This one.
that side's clean. Just scrub it real hard. By the way, flip that over so we can show the people. Look at the yellow. That's road grime and grit and everything else that was on there. There it goes. See it coming clean?
Yeah.
All crystal clear like. All right. We'll be right back. Done? Mm-hmm. See? How nice that looks. Way better. Last thing to do. Wipe them again with that rag. Yeah, I'm weird. We go into it a little deep here. There you go. And then go back to that one over there. There's a little bit of polishing compound left behind. Cool. And that's it. Oil change, cam sensor, cam pressure sensors. We're all set. No more check engine light, no more nothing. Thank you, Mara.
Thank you.
For learning. Come over, do some more cars. We'll get you a program in Corvettes in no time. How about that? Well, that'll be the end of this week's video. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed teaching a friend's daughter. She wants to learn and do her own car stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. I figure why not do it like a lot of us start out in the cold, outside, freezing, nose dripping fluids every 3 seconds. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.